And this is a solo game that takes about an hour to play, and in this game you are tasked to deal with the flooding issues along the Yellow River, and in order to deal with those issues you're trying to fulfill the requirements of these various cards that are laid across this board, and as you fulfill the requirements of those cards you're going to be removing that card from the board, revealing the canal underneath, as well as a new action location where you'll be able to put your workers during your action phase. But building these canals is not the only issue you have to deal with, because you're also going to be worrying about the river itself, as well as invading barbarians. The river is going to have this wave token that's moving across the board, and it's going to move up one space anytime that you need to draw a card from your deck, but there isn't any cards left to draw and you need to reshuffle it back into a draw pile. And the reason that you care about this is because you'll lose the game if that wave ever reaches a part of the river where you haven't already built a canal. But at the start of each round, you're going to be gaining a number of resources and cards equal to your income, and you do start the game with a base income, but you will be able to upgrade that as the game goes on. You're also going to be adding a number of barbarians into this card row at the top here, and this is going to take up spaces for other cards that are more useful to you, and if that row ever gets full of barbarians and you're not able to clear them, then you'll also lose the game. But every round you'll also be able to buy any of the non-barbarian cards from this row in order to add them to your deck. And the reason you want to get those cards into your hand is because you can play them to get a portion of the resources outlined on the card, and when that card gets put back into your draw pile, you'll be able to use it multiple times in a game, and it also makes your deck bigger so that it makes that wave move down the river a little bit slower, since you're going to be reshuffling your deck less often. But another option you have is to permanently discard a card from your hand, and that's going to allow you to get the same resources plus a bunch of extra ones. But it is making your deck smaller and you're getting rid of that card permanently. But there's one last thing you can do with these cards, and that's to slide it under your player board so that only the bottom portion of the card is visible, and that's going to get added to your income at the start of each round. But another action you can do on your turn is to fight off the barbarians, and in order to do that you're going to have to be using your worker meeples, and you have workers of different colors, and you need to match the same amount in colors as depicted on the card. And when you do that you're going to get the reward that's outlined on the right side of the card, but for any barbarians that you are unable to clear before the end of the round, they're going to cost you one of the resources that are outlined on the bottom of the card, or if you're not able to do that you're going to have to discard one of your cards from your hand. And like I said before, players can build a canal each turn, and whenever you do that you're going to be removing the card that is in that area, and underneath that card there's going to be a new worker placement action that you can perform that's going to allow you to convert some resources into another type of resource, but it's also going to unlock a little location where you can build a building. And in order to build a building, you're going to have to pay the cost of that building type. And there's 3 different types of buildings, and one will allow you to get more income, while others make workers a little bit more versatile, where they can count as a couple different colors. And then the last one will unlock new worker placement spots to help you in different areas of the game. And before I get too far ahead of myself, I should probably mention that this one is also my personal pick of the week. And the reason I'm picking this one is that I just think this one honestly looks like a lot of fun. I really like the different layers and options that this game provides, and how everything is intertwined in some way or another. One reason that I'm not a huge fan of a lot of solo games is I find they're very intently focused on resource management, where you're just trying to collect different resources or generate them in different ways, while some other aspect of the game is pulling resources away from you. And although this game does do that to some degree, and most games do, this one just adds enough options and different variable mechanics that obfuscate that and allow you to do more things and chain different events together that I think make this a lot more fun than some other games that come to mind. And I'm a big fan of multiple lose conditions where your priority might change throughout the game because something is just getting cut a little bit too close. I also really love the artwork for this one, and it is designed by ShelfClips that's created a ton of really excellent games, with a lot of them being in the top 100, so I think this just gives it a lot more confidence as a good back. So if you are a fan of his work, or if you really like solo games, or if you're neither of those things but this game just looks interesting to you, I definitely recommend checking it out, and you can go ahead and find the link in the description below where you can go ahead and click to get notified.